I got The Witcher, Geralt of Rivia, obviously made by Mcfarlane Toys. What's happening, everybody? It's DJ, better known as toysnap.inc from Instagram. I have a different one for you today. It is not DC. It is Mcfarlane, because he's the only one actually making loads of figures at the moment, but it's not DC. For once, as you can see, I really only collect DC. Don't pay attention to all the figures that fall over. I knocked into it when I was sitting down. Anyway, I got The Witcher, Geralt of Rivia, obviously made by Mcfarlane Toys, but this is a figure I really couldn't pass up, and it's a gold label. So, I mean, that has that going for it. Witcher figures are very far and few in between, and this one, for the price range, I really couldn't pass it up. What's different about this box compared to the DC Multiverse, because they're really the only box that I know? It's all just black. There is kind of a decal of like smoke or something. I don't know if you can see it yourself there. It obviously has the gold label sticker up here. The Witcher, the Wild Hunt, the red backing of the card is really nice. Has Geralt of Rivia here on the side. Has the Witcher, the Wild Hunt, CD Projekt Red. And then obviously it has a picture of the figure itself in a position with the usual articulation of 22 points. But they still can't do a thigh cut. So, without further ado, let's get this figure open and see how he goes. I'm sure people who like to keep the figures in the box are cringing right now. Okay, so box is cool, but whoops, I have to be careful with the swords here because they're actually clipped in with these weird clips, and I don't want to break the sword. I don't want to bend the sword either. So can I just? Can I? Oh god! Don't break the sword. There we go. And do the same with you. Don't break the sword. There we go. Be gone. And that's gone. So, obviously, being Mcfarlane, you get the little stand. This time it has the Witcher Wild Hunt 3 on it, which is really nice. So I'm actually going to keep that stand because I usually just throw out the other DC stands because I have so many of them. Again, you get the figure. We'll have a look at him in a more minute. You get these two swords, and straight away I can feel these are much better quality than the accessories that come with the DC Multiverse stuff. They're sturdy AF. They're light. They don't have the soft rubbery texture that DC Multiverse have. You can see that there. And of course it comes with both swords. If people who are unfamiliar with Witchers carry two swords. One for killing monsters and one for killing human monsters. One that is made of silver and one that is just made of normal iron. And obviously silver damages any mythical beasts in the world of Witcher. So, my little first thoughts on this figure. The detail on him is pretty cool. The accuracy of the head sculpt to the game Witcher is pretty uncanny. The scabbard, there are some issues with the scabbards. I'll get to that in a minute though. But overall, I'm liking the first look of this figure. There's detailing everywhere. The chainmail. He's got the little ponytail. He's got his Witcher scar. It even has the little Witcher symbol. But sure, look, enough of me talking about the figure, looking at it. Let's get it over onto the review bench so you guys can have a closer look, and we'll have a look at the articulation. Okay, and here is Geralt of Rivia, the Witcher, on the bench, up in personal and closeness and front and blah, blah, whatever. Anyway, here he is. He is looking actually quite spiffing in the light and up close on the camera. The likeness from the game, again, I have to say, is pretty uncanny. They've gotten the scar, the eyes, the detailing of the little cat eyes. Very, very well done. The hair as well of the sculpt into the ponytail. Really, really nicely done as well. Although I would have preferred the short hair with the kind of undershave on the sides. I really like that haircut in The Witcher. But you look, each their own. So moving on just through the design. The head sculpt is absolutely phenomenal. I can't fault anything with the head sculpt. Even the little scar above his other eye there. Focus, damn you. And there you can see it. And you can just see the eyes as well. So the Witchers are said to have cat-like eyes. You gain these eyes through what they call the transformations, the trials. My Witcher lore is not up to scratch. The detail again though on the chainmail is absolutely fabulous. Each little link looks detailed, trimmed with a bit of leather. Again, in this case, it's very soft rubber, so it's not going to hinder the articulation too much. And then you can see the padding underneath the thing, and it looks like padding. It's really well done. Then you've got the brown straps across the chest, each with all the individual stitch pieces. Then again, you've got the Witcher medallion, and this is the Wolf School. It's the school or the castle that Witcher trained at, Caermorn. And then moving down, you've got his chainmail again. The design of this is really accurate, and it looks so witchery. That was one thing in the Witcher I noticed, was the clothes were a lot more practical and what you think clothes from those times would be. And then again, he's got the little hook for, ooh, it's soft. Oh, I didn't know that. I was not expecting that. That was anyway, he's got the hook for be it whatever head of monster he kills. I think the hook is molded in there. Then he's just a belt to keep that in. Again, just red stitching. And then he's got his gloves with the little spikes. It's gonna hurt any monster or witch that he boxes in the face. And then again, the stitching and padding in the trousers. Just the stitching details and all this is really, really good. Mcfarlane, for a 20 quid figure, they're really not pulling any expenses when it comes to detailing. You can even see the stitching just down the centre of his knee, and then leather boots that have even been painted up, and they look dirtied. So you can see on the front, they're not like, it's like a saggy leather. So you can see the folds and the creases in the boots, and there's no way to avoid that ugly ball joint, but sure, look. And now, my only gripe with the figure, as you can see at the back, the scabbards, they're beautifully done, really well done for the steel and the iron sword. But you flip him over, and much like the Deathstroke figure, take these out, the scabbards are only full plastic on one side. And you can actually take this off, and you will see now, ba-bam. What is that? That's saving on plastic. Looks a bit silly, especially when you see it from the front, but I guess it's not a deal breaker. So that's pretty much the details up close on this figure. Like, the leather looks like leather. Phenomenal detail on the figure. I really can't find any faults. And I love that little soft piece of rubber there. You know, no one's going to hurt himself on that. That's cute. So that's details. Let's have a look at the owl articulation. Okay, so I removed the stand, and as you can see, he has passed my stand test. He can stand on his own fairly reliably. So articulation of Geralt. Let's have a look at the articulation of the head sculpt. So the hair really doesn't hinder the head too much. It kind of falls around there, so you got to be careful. It's soft enough, but you're not going to get as much rotation as if you obviously didn't have that big long ponytail. Looking up is pretty much a no-go for Geralt. I guess he doesn't need to be checking the sky for wyverns or dragons, but sure, look. He can look down pretty well, and then obviously you just see him, he can look side to side. He can do the full rotation. I wouldn't advise it, as you can see, because it's after getting the hair stuck over here. His arms, full way up like that. Again, this doesn't hinder it anyway, because it's such a soft rubber, and it goes all the way up. He can reach up like this. It's a bit stiff. There you go. So he can wash his hair if he needs to, and it comes back down. It doesn't have the little butterfly joint that all the DC Multiverse figures has. It might under this rubber piece, but I can't see. Then he has bicep swivel hidden very well just there in this leather strap. Again, full rotation, but you're not going to get that full rotation because of this little leather piece. He's got the double elbows, really double elbows. Really well done. Again, the typical Mcfarlane ball joint that you can't avoid hiding. And it has rotation side to side and full rotation on either ends of the little ball joint. Now, I'm not imagining he's going to be too articulated, but I can feel that there actually is no center piece, so to speak, here. So it's like this is the body of the figure. So I'm going to take these off because they're just going to fall off anyway when I do the articulation. So he can bend forward quite a bit. Like, I don't want to force it too much because it's similar to the peg that's in the Rebirth Joker figure, in that it's just a really small joint inside, and if you overextend it too much it will break, so you have to be careful with that. And then looking back, you can look back some, but again you can kind of see the distortion in this soft leather. It's a nice touch, but kind of messes with the articulation a small bit. He does have side to side all the way around, which is good. And then the legs open up like a wide split, so he can do that wide splits. He can do it. He trained. He's a witcher. And you can come all the way up. Tie cut, nowhere to be seen. As usual with Mcfarlane figures, they just don't like tie cuts. Todd obviously doesn't believe in ties or tie cuts. So this kicks up full way like this, and he kicks back quite a bit. The booty gets in the way, that witcher booty, and you can kind of see that, but it's no biggie. The knees, ooh, she's tight. Double knees like that, pretty good. Bit stiff, and then no rotation anywhere in the leg here, and then again, ball joint that has rotation on both ends of the ball joint, so pretty articulated, and articulation as always. Todd loves that articulation. So it's pretty standard articulated figure, bar the little waist. I like that in that it feels nice. Kind of hinders articulation in some ways, not the end of the world in my books. And he stands. Gotta love a standing figure. Okay, guys, that's been my review for the Geralt of Rivia Witcher figure released by Todd Mcfarlane Toys. I can't find any faults with this figure. The detailing on him, for the price point he is, it would be rude not to get this figure. And he's a gold label, so he's going to be a bit harder to get down the line, and I could definitely see this guy creeping up in price in a few months' time. So do not sleep on this figure. Guys, once again, thank you for stopping by my channel. I appreciate each and every one of my subscribers. Thanks for all the comments and stuff you've been leaving on my videos. You might also notice I changed my t-shirt from the start of the video. Honestly, go back and check. I'm not messing. I forgot to mention it in my last video when I was wearing this. This is a toy photography t-shirt, if you don't realise. It is the evolution of toy photographers, and it was designed by my good friend John, who is also Aesthetic1 on Instagram. And he has a merch store selling toy photography t-shirts. So I'm going to link that in the video below. It would mean the world for me if you stop by and have a look at his stuff. Really cool stuff he's got going on. As you can see, this t-shirt's awesome. Thanks for coming to my YouTube channel, guys. I'll see you again on the next video.